Yo, what's good and God bless. Praise the Lord for you to watch this video today. It's your boy Sick, and I'm back with another Bleach video, but this video is going to be really different. It's going to be more of a character discussion video, and I'll have Bleach Birth of Souls playing in the background so y'all can enjoy the match well like that. But I want to talk about how strong really is Rukia after her Soul King's Palace training in the 1,000-year Blood War arc. That's something that's been on my mind, and I want to gauge and try to get an accurate placing of where I think she should be amongst the top Shinigamis and so on and so forth. And I will be bringing some feats from the anime and manga to try to gauge accurately how strong Rukia really is amongst the other Soul Reapers within the Bleachverse. So if you end up liking the video, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Also consider subscribing if you're new to the channel, and also let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me with my character placement of where I think Rukia should be at, and so on and so forth? But yeah, let's get started with the video. So first, for us to get any type of gauge of how strong Rukia is, we have to go off of a fight that she had against Asnot. She fought Asnot after her Soul King Palace training, and this is basically her only fight that she had, at least in the manga. Now, we don't know if she's going to get a little bit added stuff when it comes to the anime, when Core 4 comes out next year, but strictly off of the manga, this is her only fight that she has after her Soul King's Palace training. But within this fight, she showed tremendous growth in her power, being able to fight and defeat Asnot. Now, the reason that's the case, because Asnot is a character who fought Byakuya earlier in the arc and completely kind of destroyed him pretty easily. In the manga, you could debate some stuff, which I will lay out in a second. But in the manga, you could debate that depending on his power and so on and so forth, it could have been a little bit different. But in the anime, they kind of show like a clear difference that Asnot is way stronger than Byakuya. But if you go back to the manga version of this fight, when Byakuya first pulled up, he was able to harm Asnot. He used his Senbou Zakura Scatter, his Shikai ability, and he was able to cut through Asnot blood vena. I think that's what they call it in English. I used to call it blood vein, but in English it's called blood vena, right? And after he dispatched Master Masculine, he made it a 2-on-1 situation with him and Renji, and he was trying to come up with a plan to figure out how they are sealing the Bankais. So he immediately went Bankai from the gate after that, and Asnot was able to steal the Bankai. He thought they were sealing it, but they was actually stealing the Bankai. And from there, Asnot used his script ability, which is the fear, and was able to affect Byakuya, and it kind of slowed down Byakuya movements and had him like freezing up a bit and so on and so forth. And from there, Asnot controlled the fight and was able to defeat Byakuya easily, especially using his own Bankai against him. Now, you can't make an argument if you just had to go off of stats alone. Byakuya probably could have put up a way better fight against Asnot if he wasn't affected by Asnot ability. But since he was affected by Asnot ability, that was able to dull his movements and so on and so forth. And it made the fight a lot tougher, and he couldn't even match up at all when it comes to this in the manga. But in the anime, they showcase that there is a clear difference when it comes to stats in general and not just off ability. Because they added in a few scenes where Renji and Byakuya was double teaming them with their Shikais, and he was able to strictly tank everything that they threw at him. He was able to strengthen his blood vena strong enough to protect himself to not get harmed at all. And this is from Renji and Byakuya at the same time. So that showcased the clear difference that Asnot had over them in the anime version of the fight. And I guess we would say that the anime version, since it's Kubo input added onto it, is the more definitive version of Bleach. Also, to add in the fact that in the anime version, he didn't use his Bankai until a little bit later on. So all of this that's taking place where Asnot is tanking their abilities and so on and so forth. This is happening before Byakuya activates his Bankai. Now, once Byakuya activates his Bankai, it gets stolen, and then he's affected by the fear ability, and then Asnot continues to like just stomp all over him after that. So the anime version shows that there is a clear difference in their abilities and stats and powers and so on and so forth. Where in the manga, you could kind of make a case that their stats is more closer to equal than not. But again, the anime showcases that they're clearly far apart, since Asnot was able to fight and take on attacks from Byakuya and Renji at the same time. Now, why this part is very important to when it comes to Rukia is because after the Soul King Palace training and she encounters Asnot, she's able to defend herself against Asnot pretty easily. Something that pre-training Byakuya and Renji couldn't do at all in the beginning of the war. But when it comes to Rukia, she's able to dodge attacks easily. She's able to defend attacks easily. Granted that her true Shikai ability is a direct counter against the fear ability of Asnot's. But when it comes to straight stats, her stats seems to be greater than Byakuya's, and definitely is greater than Renji, because he was able to defend against Renji easily. Now, when it comes to attack potency, you could argue basically that Rukia attack potency is definitely greater than Byakuya's at the beginning of the war, because she was able to harm Asnot a few times, I think at least 2 to 3 times easily, where Byakuya, he was able to harm Asnot first, but his second go around, at least in the anime, him and Renji together attacking Asnot did nothing to Asnot at all. So that puts her attack potency above a combined attack of Renji, and even though Renji attack was really just wrapping him up, and Byakuya just did like a face shot with Senbou Sakura at him, but her attack potency is greater than Renji's and Byakuya at the beginning of the war. So you could go, it's safe to say that is the case. Now, when it comes to speed, I'm not too sure if she's faster than Byakuya, because again, at least in the anime version, since they added more scenes to it, Byakuya couldn't really land any type of significant hits on Asnot because he was affected by the fear, which was slowing and dulling his movement, where Rukia ability negated Asnot fear. So when it comes to speed, I'm not too sure. I'm not sure that Rukia, after the Soul King Palace training, is faster than beginning of the war arc Byakuya. Even though you could say she blitzed Asnot a couple times, so that immediately makes her faster, but we also have to take into context that Byakuya was affected by Asnot fear ability, where Rukia wasn't. So I'm not sure if Rukia is actually faster than Byakuya, but her attack potency is definitely greater than Byakuya at the beginning of the arc. And we don't really got to speak much about her Bankai. Her Bankai attack potency is severely strong. It's like an AoE attack. The only thing is that it should be a short shot kill. It seems like it's one of those type of Bankais, unless you're on that god tier level in the Bleach verse where you could probably survive it. But she also, it seems like if she does miss this Bankai, even though it's a wide area, a type of attack of Bankai, which is going to be kind of hard to avoid. But if it was able to be avoided, she's going to be a severe disadvantage. Or if somebody was able to tank this Bankai, she would be at a severe disadvantage. So that's another thing that kind of holds Rukia back. Now, when we get all of the analysis out the way, her scaling the feats, now I'm going to try to break down where I will rank her, right? So let's talk about the Shinigami that I clearly have her above, right? So I clearly have her above Kensei. I clearly have her above Rose. Kensei could still be debated a little bit, but we not gonna really go into it. But I clearly have her above Rose. I clearly have her above Komamura, but I don't have her above Immortal Human Form Komamura. Human Form Immortal Komamura, clearly I feel like it's beating Rukia. Soifon, even though I feel like she might have a edge when it comes to attack potency, I still find it kind of difficult for her to win this matchup against Soifon, just off of Soifon's speed and combat ability. I think it would be real tough because Rukia can only access the absolute zero state for 4 seconds. Now, clearly, I don't feel like she's nowhere near as fast as Soifon. Because if I don't think she's faster than Byakuya, and Byakuya is not faster than Soifon, Byakuya is not even nowhere near the speed of Soifon. As we could just go back to feats in the Soul Society arc that shows that Soifon is on a different type of. Even though Byakuya is one of the top speedsters in the verse, Soifon is on a different level of speed. Reasons is Byakuya couldn't catch a Yoriichi that was carrying a Ichigo as dead weight, and he couldn't catch her at all. While Soifon in their fight in the Soul Society arc was able to tag, even though this is an out of practice Yoriichi, but this is the same out of practice Yoriichi that was carrying Ichigo that Byakuya couldn't catch at all, and Soifon was able to tag her multiple times. Then when we get onto the Fate Karakura Town arc, we see that Soifon is so fast enough that she can create like almost 20 different speed clones of herself. Something that Byakuya could not do. He had a hard time going against the number 7 of Spada, Zamari, who was creating 5 different speed clones of himself. And he had to use a special Shihoen technique to get out of that. But clearly in that fight, even though he was kind of toying with Zamari, clearly when it came to speed, Zamari was still faster than Byakuya in that fight. So when it comes down to it, speed wise, Soifon is faster than Byakuya, and I don't even think it's even close when it comes to speed. And if I don't think that it could be debated that Rukia is not as fast as Byakuya before the arc yet. And Soifon did do training herself to get even faster. She perfected her Shunko as well in the 1,000 Year Blood War arc, so she got even faster. And she had 2.5 years of training after the Fate Karakura Town arc. So Soifon is an extremely fast character, and it's real tough for me to definitely put Rukia over Soifon. I know people like to shit on Soifon a lot and don't think Soifon is a strong character, but Soifon in this matchup against Rukia could get the W. Or if she just have to avoid Rukia attacks, she definitely can. Rukia cannot sustain her absolute zero form longer than 4 seconds, and she hasn't perfected this form at all yet. Soifon to me still might be a better character, or still might be a stronger character than Rukia. Now Rukia might outperform her when it comes to attack potency, and until you get to the Bankai, and that's a different discussion in itself. But I think Soifon has the edge over Rukia. Now Shinji is another one that I'm not too sure about. It's very easy to say that Rukia is definitely stronger than Shinji, since especially Shinji doesn't really have a good track record in Bleach, at all. He lost to Bombietta, but he wasn't completely done. He did get one shot by Bombietta and was off screen for a little bit. But Shinji does. This is a Shinigami who is capable of activating Hado 91. You know how good at Kido and strong you have to be activating a non-incantation Hado 91, and this is going to the territory of actually he did this in the novels, but in the anime they showcase him using Hado 91. He's also the first Shinigami who was actually laid a slight hit on Aizen. We forget about that in the Fate Card Horror Town. He was actually able to cut Nick Aizen's face. That itself is a feat. And I would still put 1,000-year Blood War Rukia at the Soul King Palace on training under Aizen, under Fate Card Horror Town Aizen, before Hoyoku evolution and so on and so forth. So we have to take that in mind as well. Now, if you want to argue that Shinji is weaker than Rukia and Rukia is stronger, I feel like that's a debate. It's kind of hard for me to put Rukia above Shinji as well, just off of experience, fighting ability, his Shikai ability, and he does have Kido ability and so on and so forth, and the Hollow Mask. So it's still tough to just strictly throw Rukia above Shinji, right? Now, another character I don't feel that Rukia is stronger than is Mayuri, for obvious reasons. I don't even think we even have to go into like a real detail about that. Obviously, she's not stronger than Shunsui. She's not stronger than Byakuya after the Soul King Palace training. I don't feel like she's stronger than Renji either. Renji just a different beast, especially with his added on fight in the 1,000-Year Blood War anime against Uryu, and we see the amount of abilities that he showcases in his true Bankai form, and he showed it with such mastery that Rukia hasn't shown yet. She hasn't even mastered her true Shikai ability yet. Like, she can only use it for 4 seconds. And he showcased the mastery of his Bankai, his true Bankai abilities. Crazy. So, I don't put Rukia above Renji either. Obviously, she's not above Zaraki. And honestly, I do not put Rukia above Hitsugaya as well. Even before adult form Hitsugaya, I don't feel like she's above the kid version of Hitsugaya at all. If we had to make a comparison, the reason why is because they both fought a similar opponent, and they didn't really fight a similar opponent. They both end up having a skirmish against Gerald, right? Gerald Valkyrie. Gerald Valkyrie was able, when he went into his giant form, he basically demolished almost everybody. And Rukia was out for that entire fight. Now, if they added more stuff into the anime version of the fight, that would be cool. But against her showing against Gerald Valkyrie, she wasn't able to do anything at all. And even when you go into her abilities, what could she do against Gerald at all, right? It wouldn't even be a fight. Hitsugaya fought Gerald for a little bit, and he didn't immediately get put down like how everybody else did. He was able to hang slightly, even though Byakuya started to help, and then Zaraki eventually came in and took over the fight. Hitsugaya showcased that he has the capability to at least fight for a little bit on par with Gerald Valkyrie in his big form, where almost everybody else was not able to do so. Almost everybody else got knocked out and was out for the count, besides Byakuya and besides Zaraki when he entered the fight. So that's another reason why I feel like Rukia is not above Hitsugaya. Yeah, so for the most part, I feel like Rukia overall, she seems like she definitely is stronger from the Soul King Palace training. I will still put her in the middle of the pack of the captains. She's definitely stronger than Rose. She's definitely stronger than Kensei. But then again, you could still argue the experience and stuff like that may overcome her in the fight and abilities and fighting capabilities. But hey, there's that. You could still argue. It's an argument with the bottom captains. It's legit to me an argument with the bottom captains, but I will place her above Rose and Kensei. Sajin, but she's not beating humanization form Sajin at all because he's immortal, so there's no way to get past that. Soifon and Shinji, to me, are stronger than her. I feel like they're stronger characters, but I can understand that other people feel. So yeah, that's my thoughts about where I would place Rukia at in the totem pole when it comes to the captains. She's obviously the second strongest lieutenant. So yeah, besides maybe Nemu when she activates her full power, she's probably not stronger than Nemu when she activates her full power. Not even probably, she's not stronger than Nemu. Even I don't even think Renji may be stronger than Nemu when Nemu activates her full power. But taking out Nemu, she is the strongest, second strongest lieutenant next to Renji. Obviously, we know she becomes a captain eventually. And when it comes to the captains, ranking amongst the captains, I'm not including Yamamoto, and obviously she's not stronger than Yamamoto. Obviously, she's not stronger than Unohana. So, and Ukitake is a toss-up, but I'm pretty sure she's not stronger than Ukitake. But out of all the available captains in the 1,000-year Blood War that are still alive, she falls kind of towards the lower end of the middle of the pack for me. Honestly, like I said, it's going to be real tough for you to convince me that she's beating Soifon and Shinji. And I could also make a case for Kensei as well. And you could kind of make a case for Rose. You could legit make a case for Rose as well because of her not having mastery of her Shikai ability yet. Now she goes Bankai, and if you're within the vicinity, then good luck, right? But if they are able to avoid that Bankai, then it's bye-bye for her. But anyways, hopefully you was able to enjoy the video. If you did enjoy the video, please smash the like button. I greatly appreciate it. Let me know in the comment section below what are y'all thoughts and what do you think. Where would y'all place Rukia up on the totem pole when it comes to strength and the Bleach verse when it comes to the Shinigami? And yeah, let me know if y'all want me to keep doing videos like this. I think I will continue. So yeah, let me know. Anyways, hope all y'all have a nice day. God bless. Peace.